Hello friends! Welcome to episode 9 of our Nier Replicant Let's Play. I'm going wild with recording today. I have been doing oh so much. Somebody needs to take Saturday away from me apparently because I want to play more of this game. It's much easier to balance during the work week. I kind of get off work, eat dinner, record a little bit, edit the episode, spend a little time doing something else in the evening, but today I'm on that Nier grind, but not actually doing any grinding. This is a cool... Whoa, that's a cool little move. Ooh, stylish. I like this little dragon claw. I'm tempted to go see what it would take to level it up. Oh no. Instead, I'm just gonna get some mutton from this sheep. To the Forest of Myth. I don't think that's gonna be a particularly long sequence, if I remember right. But it might be tough on my voice, and you'll see why. I'm extremely eager to get to the Resident Evil style mansion part of this game. And there's a part of me that's just like, am I gonna keep playing today until we get there? The answer's maybe. Hey boar, how is it going? Are you hostile? You seem fine. Okay. Should have rode my boar over here. I don't want to fight these guys. No thank you. There's so many of them. I noticed when I was out looking for lizard tails earlier and wasting my time, there is an actual, like, weather system. Like, sometimes it is cloudy and sometimes it's sunny. And when it's cloudy, there are way more shades. Ooh, ruined gate. Welcome to Bloodborne.
It sure is quiet here.
Such silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm certain of it.
You know, a little optimism now and then would...
Mail delivery. Ah, I shouldn't have overwrit that, just in case I'm not recording, but I think I am.
Such cheek.
The cheek on this lad! You wouldn't believe the cheek! Hello.
Beware the words.
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words.
Uh-oh.
Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
What's going on?
The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man. Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
The mayor stared at Nier and Vice.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream has spread across the Forest of Myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. So this part of the game is really cool. Like, this area is basically going to be a visual, or not a visual, like a book, like a novel. Like, it's mostly text. I don't even know that there's like a lot of choice, like a text adventure. But this is where it transitions to being like written word instead of just video game stuff, which is really neat in this action game. Like, this is a neat little side path, different style to engage in. It's cool. I hope you don't hate the sound of my voice, because I'm going to be reading this out loud, and the next 15 minutes are just going to be an audiobook. I'm sorry. Weiss stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here.
He said,
Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes. I think you have.
In other words, we've caught the death dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Nier's suspicion, Weiss exploded with rage.
Ridiculous. Preposterous. Completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
I love the awareness of the narrator. Like, they're in a dream of words, and it's being told like a book, and they're aware of the book. That's very good. The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Nier had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Nier and Weiss racked their brains but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider. Too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss does not engage in meaningless conversations.
The mere suggestion that Weiss chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator.
Jeez, rude.
It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Weiss looked skyward, as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Nier like a contagion. Wait, said Nier suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Weiss aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something about dreams, or... Oh, what the hell was it? A sheep! Cried Weiss suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Nier's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Nier. That sounds right, he said. A stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across the lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along, but I never expected a couple outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Weiss immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, but perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out. I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens. Nier nodded in agreement. Huh? Wait a second. I didn't nod. Look, it can't be help. If we can be of any help, said Nier, just ask. Now hold on, I did not say that. Silence! Cried Weiss. The Grimoire looked from Nier to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimoire Weiss's face is always confident. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor. I told you there is nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seem surprised to see us here when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said. You're right! I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Weiss, and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required, as we are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms of Nier and Weiss. We're all counting on you. As Nier slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. I saw this man once before, he thought. But where? Nier's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident he could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction. The moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once, he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Weiss was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Nier to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Weiss muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Nier snapped. Okay, Weiss, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Nier leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big? He muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Nier slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Weiss! What's going on? Nier could see Weiss's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as Nier's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Zree, 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 zree! Shakaka, shakaka, shakaka. Chick-chick-chee, chick-chick-chee, chick-chick-chee. Woo-woo-woo, woo-woo-woo, woo-woo-woo. Shik-shik-sheek, shik-shik-sheek, shik-shik-sheek. An insect cacophony dimmed another decibel. Nier began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise. It's something else. The insects weren't just calling out. They were asking a question. 1 with it is lacking. 2 with it is ideal. 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages! Is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? The answer is a secret. The answer is a seesaw. How should I know? I mean, I'm gonna guess secret? Inwardly furious that Weiss left him to the task, Nier sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? The sound of the insects stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Nier like a rippling wave opening a new path. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Nier moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from underground, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Nier after a bit. Weiss spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of the forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Nier picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. "Good heavens," said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. "I enter through the window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? A sunbeam." "Absurdly easy," barked Weiss. "Now answer it." Nier gritted his teeth and tried to reach out and strangle his companion. Tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all, this one is pretty easy. "I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? A bird, a letter, sunlight." Sunlight! A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. "In all my years," said Weiss softly, "I've never seen such a sight." "Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place." "Hey, look!" cried Nier, awakening Weiss from his daze. "There's a house or something over there." Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. "That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here?" Nier walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Nier. Before he could get any further, the cloaked man held up a hand and began speaking. "I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I?" Nier tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing, but he simply repeated the question. "If we wish to engage the man in conversation," said Weiss, "it seems we must answer his riddle." "Yeah, I suppose," said Nier. "Well, at least it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I?" A man! The one riddle that everybody in the world knows. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor! Why'd I say it like that? Cried Nier. A small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry, what's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Nier watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Nier and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy! He cried. You made it! You actually made it back! His left hand grasped Nier's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, you fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Nier withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream's seal, he said. At least, I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Nier filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Nier cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Nier and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten? Continued Weiss. It is the words that control the Death Dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor, the first time I have felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Nier shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an awed voice. We did. I'm back. He blinked once again, and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. You have no idea how much this means. The death dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Nier and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life might take some getting used to, said the mayor with a wry smile. Said the mayor as a wry smile crossed his lips. You shall relearn in short order, I am sure, said Weiss. For now, you should return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on his unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the vine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained, when the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Weiss. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. Nier and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed their goal had been found in a most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Weiss, this is certainly a stroke of luck. The three of them said their goodbyes. Nier mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world does this mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. Nier tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. Nier gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. And what exactly is going on here? The riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I mean, it's right up there with the one that makes black words cover your arm.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
We obtained a sealed verse. Dark Execution. Summon magical spikes from the ground to impale enemies, charged to increase the number. Okay, that one's pretty cool. Let's...
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
That's true, we did receive a dream and a
Don't
letter.
overthink advice.
Okay, let's replace Dark Phantasm with Dark Execution. Let's look around this village a little bit. I wonder if we have to free other villagers. I'm gonna save real quick so we don't have to redo that. Wasn't that cool? Maybe it wasn't as cool for you because you were just listening to me say it, but I liked it. On the podcast I was listening to today, they were talking about let me restart that. I would be really interested to see if I was going to learn about the development of any area of this game. I really want to know about what happened with this, because this whole area, so these people with text above their heads, they're stuck in a dream. We're going to save them. We're going to do some more reading today. But it's a very small area. I mean, it's just this. You see it all. We've already walked through it all. But I'd want to know, like, how they wrote that, because writing for, like, text writing, like, that much text is, like, totally different than video game writing when you're just writing dialogue and, like, creating scenes. Like, and considering how much this video game relies on imagery, like, actual images and music to, I think, in my opinion, swing above its weight class as far as a narrative, it's interesting that they made this area that's just all text. And I'm curious, like, who did the writing on that? Like, how much was Yoko Taro responsible for the writing that's here? Or was this, like, a collaborative effort with the team? Did they bring in somebody to do, like, scenario writing for the Forest of Myth? Like a professional writer? I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out. Has like a different skill set, but it fits and feels correct and is good. I think that's the writing in this area is good.
This person must be dreaming too.
It would appear that way, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna enter this village's dream. I'm sorry if you hear me drinking water.
Can't
A lot
say
of reading.
I'm very excited to go back there. That dream world sort of creeps me out.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? Oh, we have a totally different sound track. This is more like the Junkie. My box, my prison, is tucked beneath a stairway in a long, unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Yikes. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes and eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior. I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me. Impossibly, I hear a sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. The door slowly cracks open. I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy and a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to the blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn away. Who are you? I ask, shaking hands, covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. This is Nier. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Nier extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. I never thought to hear that again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good on our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. This is a text adventure, okay. And proceed north. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch the piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away in the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know. This insanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. Okay, I squint down the dim corridor, said go east or south. We just went north, so I think we go east. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed west or north. I'm gonna go just north, I guess. I sprint down the dim corridors and proceed east, south, west, north. Let's go west again? At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in a dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. The cask will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack, and thick red liquid bursts from the hole. There is no wine, it is blood still warm from the body, whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the rising floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over the red ocean below. I smell death. The smell of death is everywhere, and it threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell! Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. I squint down the dim corridor and proceed east. So, quick timeout. I think that there are correct answers to this, and if I'm remembering right, there are clues in the passages as to what the correct answer is, and I'm very sorry because I'm not a super observant person. And I don't totally remember how to do this, so I might get it wrong and have to redo this a couple times. My guess is I'm going to pick east because there was something about the first thing in one of the passages, so I'm going to guess the first option. At the end of the path, I find myself in a great hall, and only the sounds of rain for comfort, the waterlogged red carpet. Oh, I think that was wrong. I think I picked the first one, and I was supposed to maybe pick the fourth? I have no idea. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rest china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing the movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made their homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. I'm sorry if this is upsetting to anybody who's listening, because this is basically just a horror story. Oops. Hopefully, hearing it coming from me, your friend Will, makes it a little easier to take. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands and slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs proved to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Oh no. Each one's covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat back up the back and down the arms. Man, this is a way worse stream than the mayor's. Yikes. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. Or if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment, though in truth I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down the dim corridors. I don't know. Let's go back west. Is that going to take me? I think this is a central thing. So I've done west, and I've done east. Let's go north. At the end of the path, the water rises to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, so I turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of their life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It's constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck with a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped with a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another figure. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another person, a fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough! Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water, squint down the dim corridors, and proceed south. The water has risen up to my chin and now greedily leaps at my mouth and nose. "You dumb bast!" shouts Nier. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insults are cut short by the rising water. When more Vice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Oh man, game over. I got it wrong. Wow, okay, that was a lot. Jeez. We just read a whole horror story for 10 minutes and it was incorrect. I'm glad I saved. Okay, I'm not gonna read everything. Oh my gosh, thank goodness I saved. Wow. I can't believe I got a game over. Okay. We're gonna... I'm gonna give this one more try before
It would appear.
Look up the solution, because there's only so much of that I want to read.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in a fresh hell. You're stuck in a place. Death, you want to come for you. The people show up to let you out. Go. Yeah, this fits with my memory of doing this area the first time. Okay. There's water. We're gonna drown. We proceed north at the end of the corridor. 20 gorgeous canopy beds, all covered with thick layers of dust and cobwebs. Shapeless gray matter. Door just beyond. Reach out my finger. Touch piece. It's a bunch of corpses. Yeah. Okay, I guess we want to go... Went east. Do we want to go south? Oh, and then north? Okay. So I think this does have an actual logic to how it's set up, so I guess I will go east. And then north or west, I don't know if it matters. Let's try north. I went last time. Okay, and then we're at the bunch of corridors. I think the only direction I didn't go last time was north? The end of the path. Oh, the waters rise to my waist. Okay, that's no good. So we got the painting thing again. Is that just an immediate fail condition? Okay, no. Okay. Let's try south this time. That's the only direction we didn't go before. West? Oh, whoop, game over again. Okay, I think I'm getting it. I actually think I'm getting it. Just a little bit of trial and error. Wow, jeez, game over. Okay, I think I need to go west, because that gave me an additional option last time. And I just need to take that. So I think the point of this is literally you are just mapping out the space, so.
This person...
Okay.
Perhaps.
One more time. Third time's the charm, everybody. I'm so sorry if you hate this area. We're gonna do another one after this. I kind of want to get through this area so that we can move on to the next big part of it. Is this just a side quest that I'm doing? I feel like I should save these people, though. It's pretty rough. Okay, yeah, corpses. Got it. East. North. And then west, I think was correct. The end of the path is a dark chamber. Wine. Yeah, okay. There's blood and not wine. Great. Okay, that was wrong. Let's try east this time. This is the horrible feast. And then not west. Let's go north. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. Break it down, someone cries, and so I give myself to the effort. In tandem with Nier and Grimoire Weiss, I sling my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives way. Hey, third try's the charm. We find ourselves sprawled on the ground outside the castle. The storm is in retreat, the clouds above are still dark and foreboding, but to the west I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. How can I thank you? I cry as tears of joy and tears join the rain on my cheeks. I would surely have died in there. Looking down, I suddenly notice that my dress is in tatters, and sheepishly I try to cover my exposed skin. Your dress? Asked Weiss. Then you are a woman, madam? I am. I proffer the chew with a smile. I suppose that comes as something of surprise, seeing as how I exist only in the form of words. I can see that one known as Nier is disappointed that the torn dress will be giving no further description, but he hides it well. With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening. Behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After the moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, the uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to their new life as shades.
You have anything to say about that?
Hopefully there will be no labyrinth next time.
I hear that.
Okay, let's save again before we move on to this last one. Remember the castle and the people inside turning to shades. That's gonna be... like, the Castle of Shades is gonna be a thing to keep in mind for later. I'm hopefully gonna remember to bring it up. There's some interesting stuff there. This is actually pretty interesting. For, like, the overall story. Okay, last one. Sip of water. Okay, here we go!
And another victim. This work certainly is trying.
I figured a book like you would be into all this word stuff, Weiss.
Even I have my exceptions. Now let's be off.
A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, their tall forms scraping against the sky. Weiss and Nier had never seen such a sight. Their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
Those buildings must be huge if we can see them from this far away. What do you think, Weiss?
I wonder if it's like a modern-day city with skyscrapers. As Weiss considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity.
Perhaps they are some manner of mirage.
Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Nier nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Ah, so it is probably a modern city. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who laid down this material over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Nier lightheaded. His feet hurting, he crouched down to rest. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Is someone playing a joke on us or what? The complaining had already begun. Weiss tried not to let his eyes roll too much. A joke, he said? No, no joke. This road leads to the City of Art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. You don't sound very sure of yourself there. Perhaps not, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. Nier glanced at Weiss's grinning face, shook his head, and resumed walking. As time passed, Nier's feet grew more painful, his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. We are definitely getting closer, said Weiss, in an effort to cheer up his companion. Yes, this much is certain. Encouraged, Nier lifted his gaze. Suddenly, he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open and his finger pointing in the distance. Water! He cried. It's water! Water? Asked Weiss. Preposterous, I don't see any water. Over there! Just ahead of us! Look, the sun reflecting off it! Without waiting for a response, Nier sprang to life and bounded toward the site. What in the... There's no water. There's nothing but sand in every direction. Nier closed his eyes and sighed as Weiss floated up behind him and chuckled softly. I believe this is known as a mirage. Many a desert traveler has spoken of such things. Nier shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly, he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. Wait, there it is. I just missed it. Look. It's right there. Nier sprinted off again, leaving Weiss with no choice but to follow. A few minutes of running, Nier came to a halt. I could have sworn it was right here. Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour, until an exasperated Weiss finally caught up to Nier and struck him in the face with his cover. Enough, you blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here! Nier's face clouded. There isn't? There is not, and perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much. Weiss paused for a moment and continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It appears we have arrived at the City of Art. Nier looked up, stretched out before him in a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end. They're huge, cried Nier, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. I've never seen anything so big. Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched up toward the sky, but that is where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected light in thousands of directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps. What kind of city is this? Where are the people? Where are the houses? Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels sat silent on steel rails. Cars. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but they were composed of materials that they had never before encountered. The sheer variety and colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Nier and Weiss eventually fell silent. I love this interpretation of a city through the eyes of people who have never seen a modern city. Like, we talk a lot... Sorry, I'm interrupting, like, the middle of the short story, but, like, when you imagine, I don't know, like, somebody from the Middle Ages being transported to modern society, the idea that they would see, like, New York City and think that it is a beautiful masterpiece of art is kind of amazing. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. Nier uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them. Finally, I was getting tired of modern art. The 3 statues were indistinguishable, except for a single word chiseled in their right arms. One read Alpha, one read Beta, and the final one read Gamma. Nier moved to touch the nearest statue. A bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures, alighting on the statue's shoulder, and emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. False ones will only speak lies. With that, the bird departed. As if on cue, the 3 statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe. Hey, look at that, said Nier. They're alive. The triplets bowed low before Nier. Please, said Alpha, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. He turned to Nier and threw his hands in the air. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is a fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. Their respective pleas given, the 3 statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. When you consider all of the statements, only one of them could be the real one thing. Nier furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth, the false ones will only speak lies. Okay, so Alpha said that they're real. Beta said Alpha's lying. I'm real. Gamma said Beta's lying. So if Gamma's telling the truth and Beta's lying, then that would mean Alpha's also the real one and is therefore telling the truth, so that can't be the case. So Gamma has to be lying, which means Beta's the real one. Real one is Beta. Though Nier's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence, he was relieved to see Weiss nodding at him. If Alpha was telling the truth, began Weiss in the dry tones of the lecturer, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is fake would be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. Okay, I'm not gonna walk through all that. Yeah, you get it. I already explained it. As Weiss finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly into dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. "Congratulations, villager," said Weiss in a cheerful voice. "The time to awaken has arrived." "Thank you for saving me," cried the villager. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head low as it could go before an uncomfortable Nier pulled him to his feet. "Why did you have a dream like this?" asked Weiss. "Have you been to this city before?" The villager slowly looked around at bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head. I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have ever been to a place like this. But at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before. "Deja vu," muttered Nier, just like the mayor. The vague sense of unease that struck Nier during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind.
That was rough.
I am positive I have seen that place before.
Okay, that's enough. Don't need you getting all weird on me too.
Well, we did find, in that opening sequence that was 1400 years ago, I think that Grimoire Weiss was one of the books in that thing, so he has been there.
Okay.
Or
There.
a city.
Now all the villagers can wake up, right?
Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have had enough wordplay to last a lifetime. Thank you very much.
You're telling me. Anyway, let's go see the mayor.
Oh, let's save before we mess something up again.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you so much. Here, I have something for you.
We got a one-handed sword!
Wow, this looks valuable. I can really have it?
Of course.
Everyone's just got cool swords to give out as prizes.
It's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have little use for it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you again for everything.
Man, surely y'all are tired of hearing my voice, right? After all that. What do we got? Rebirth. No. Faith. That was... Okay, it's just like a katana. Alright. Oh, it's actually stronger than the one we have now. Oh, that's a bummer. I like this one, though. It's cool, and it's not like we're having a hard time with the fights. Alright, onward and homeward, I guess. We got a sealed verse and a cool sword. Oof.
So how was the
Oh,
village?
hi, Kaine. I forgot about you for a minute.
Oh, it was truly magnificent. There are no words. Really.
Ah! Got him.
Neat.
Let's get back to Popola. She'll probably want to know what's going on in there.
Hey, boar friend. Can I have a ride? Yeah. Boar speed. Man, this thing is fast. Oh, God. I'm sorry, are you okay? Yeah, you're fine. They're fine. Okay, Popola, what do you have to say about that? Man, reading all of that makes me really glad that this game is voiced.
death dream certainly is a strange illness.
Yeah, it was something all right.
Even I, with my natural love for words, have no desire to visit that place ever again.
You guys did well. You've been making a lot of long trips lately. Are you sure you're not pushing yourself too hard?
I'm okay. I can't just sit around all day while Yona's sick after all.
If you say so.
So, anything I can do for you?
Well, I suppose there is one thing I could use a hand with. Have you heard about our plans to repair the canal? The work probably won't happen for a while, but once it's done, we can use the canal for trade and travel and all kinds of useful things. Unfortunately, however, we're a bit behind schedule at the moment. If you're willing to help out, I'd really appreciate it.
No problem. What do you need?
Great. So, the man I originally asked to help on this project hasn't shown up for work in a few days. I'm starting to get a little worried. So, maybe you can head over to Seafront and check up on him? I'll mark the location of his house on your map. He always carries a red bag over his shoulder, so he should be easy enough to find.
Got it.
Okay, I think not gonna stop here quite yet. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that quest, since the only thing that's happened in this episode so far is me reading pages and pages of text. I think we could use some other voices in this episode. So let's head over to Seafront.
A canal, is it? Fascinating. If we had a ferry, we could put these days of endlessly running about behind us.
Don't you just float everywhere anyway?
Do you think I
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
am borne aloft by the winds, lad? It takes stamina to maintain this height.
Oh, really?
You could at least try to hide the utter dismay, you know.
I like the idea that he picked a height that he thought was appropriate for his stature and is just kind of working on maintaining that.
Excuse me, but have you seen my son?
I don't think so. Why? Is something wrong?
When I got home, I found a note from him that said he was leaving and not to look for him. Please, you have to help me. I'll pay you whatever you want. My son shouldn't be too hard to spot. He wears a very odd hat. You can see it from a mile away.
Okay, we'll see if we see your son.
Okay. If I see him, I'll let him know his father's worried about him.
But I'm not gonna go out of my way to look. Sorry, fella. Something that I think I was talking about in the mythical unrecorded episode is that Nier, our protagonist, is doing a lot of self-sacrifice here, and that he like works himself really hard, is theoretically taking on all these side quests, you know, jumping at every opportunity to like help Popola, to like find stuff for his sister. The game began with him telling Yona a story about this like magical flower that could make them a bunch of money and cure her disease. And she went off by herself to find it, like did something very dangerous, and he went to save her and said, you know, that was like a ridiculous thing, you shouldn't have like followed this silly story, I shouldn't have told you about it. Immediately after that, he gets this magic book and is told a story about the sealed verses and how that maybe could help solve his problems. And like Popola and Vice both say it, like he's like, oh, I gotta go kill a bunch of shades. They're like, that's really dangerous, you should not do that. Which is basically exactly what happened with his sister, and he insists on doing it anyway. So I wonder if maybe the whole game is just a reflected version of what happened at the very beginning of the game with Yona. Something to think about. Here we go, red bag.
Hey, are you the guy who's supposed to help repair the canal? Popola sent me to...
Oh God, it's over. My life is over.
Surely you must realize nothing good can come of being involved with this particular endeavor.
Easy, Vice. Hey, so, Are you alright?
It's my wife. She left home a week ago and hasn't come back. I'm so worried I can't even focus on my work. Oh, my sweet dumpling, where are you?
Oh, that's terrible. Would you like us to help you look for her?
Really? You do that for me?
Sure. But do you have any idea where we should start?
Well, she always used to enjoy drinking at the tavern with her friends.
All right, then I guess we'll start with them.
Thank you. This means the world to me. Oh, and by the way, my wife always carries a red bag, just like mine. If you mention that, it might ring some bells.
I've met some odd couples in my day, but none who felt the need to wander about flaunting matching luggage.
You need to get with the times. Coordinated outfits are all the rage. Plus, these bags are special. We bought them for our anniversary. But now my sweet dumpling is gone. And it...
Okay. Just stay
Oh
calm.
man, his wife totally
We'll
ran
go
off
look
with
for her,
someone,
all right?
huh?
I'm willing to bet that man knows more about his wife absconding than he's letting on.
Yeah.
Hey there, I'm looking for a woman carrying a red bag.
Are you now? Interesting. Did something happen to her?
Interesting.
She hasn't been home and her husband's worried. Do you know anything about where she might be?
Trouble in paradise, is it? Oh, those two never change. Anyway, the short answer is no. She hasn't been around here either. Though come to think of it, she always got on well with the woman over at the tackle shop. Maybe you should try her?
I'll do that. Thanks.
Hey, what's the rush? You've got a cute face. Why not sit here and join me for a round? Or three?
Sorry, ma'am, but I'm not old enough to drink.
Yikes! Yikes! Yikes!
Hey there, do you know a woman with a red bag by any chance?
A red bag? Oh, sure. Although now that I think about it, I haven't seen her in a while. Last time she came around, she mentioned something about leaving town. But I figured it was just idle talk.
Leaving town, huh? All right, thanks for your time.
If she has truly left this charming hamlet, finding her may prove most difficult indeed.
I just hope she hasn't been attacked by shades or anything.
I mean, that does seem to happen to most people we look for outside of towns. This is a nice little, easy quest to end things on. Oh, where am I supposed to go? I don't have a quest marker, which is interesting. Oh, I wonder if it's the giant shade. No, don't talk to my spider friends. Kaine. Don't. They mean no harm. Are we finally gonna be doing something with this? Oh. Oh, okay.
Something about that shade seems rather odd.
Yeah, you think? Get out of the way, tree. Okay, well it is attacking me, so I guess you know what to do. Key item. A red bag. Oh no.
Hey, look
There
at
it
this.
is.
It is identical to the red satchel carried by the man who sent us on this mad quest. Perhaps it belongs to his spouse.
Oh no. Do you think the shades got her?
I fear it likely, lad. I sense no other activity in the immediate vicinity. We were too late.
Well, this is terrible.
However difficult it may be, we've no choice but to tell the man the truth.
Why would the shade be carrying a red bag? And we found no body. Very curious. Here's our boar taking a nap. Oh, we gotta come up with a name for the boar now, too.
Hey, did you find my sweet dumpling?
We didn't, but we got this off a shade.
Oh no, this is hers.
So our fears were correct.
Oh God, how could this happen to her? And this is all my fault.
I guess we'll ask him.
If I may, my good man, why did your wife leave home in the first place?
It's because I
think we should give him some time to himself, Vice.
Okay. Oh.
Honey, I'm home. Good heavens, you're a wreck.
Oh my
What's
gosh,
wrong?
that's his wife.
Dumpling, you're not dead.
What in the world
What?
are you talking about? Oh, you found my bag. Thank you so much. I can't believe I went and dropped it like that.
Oh, this is such a relief.
Okay, seriously. What's going on?
Did she just go to the market? And he freaked out.
I see. So, you found a shade with my bag and assumed I'd been attacked and killed?
I'm just glad you're safe, Dumpling, but I'm also so sorry. This is all my fault. Oh, if I didn't eat that apple you were saving. Oh,
Okay,
God,
and
I'm
then she had
such
to go
an
buy
idiot.
more apples. Got
Listen, I promise I'll never eat anything of yours again. You just promise never to run away from home again, okay?
Run away? Have you lost your mind? I just went to visit my parents.
Huh?
I told you about this. Going to see my family, gone for a week. Remember? Ugh, are you serious right now? Why don't you ever listen to me?
Lad, my brilliant intuition suggests we should beat a hasty retreat from these two with all speed.
Should we stick around and listen? I'm kind of curious.
I can't believe you didn't listen to me, and you ate my apple. Ugh, you are the absolute worst.
What? Oh, like you're some perfect angel. You didn't even care enough about our anniversary to hang on to your bag. You, kid, I'm right about this,
Oh,
yeah?
no.
If anyone's wrong here, it's my wife, right?
Wait, you're asking me?
Oh no. I do feel like I'm gonna blame the husband because you should know when your spouse
Well, you shouldn't have
goes
eaten
out
your
of
wife's
town.
apple. That's not very nice.
But I was hungry, and it would... Look, I'm glad you went looking for my wife and all, but that was low, friend. Low.
Did I cross a line there?
Besides, it's pretty rich to come after me for an apple when you threw away my entire stamp collection.
What?
You're damn right I did, and I'd do it again. You are nothing but a hoarding slob. You there, my husband's in the wrong
Oh
here, isn't he?
jeez.
Pardon? But madam,
Hoarding slob of a husband, the collection tusk of a wife. Honestly, both of them.
Oh, enough. The both of you are at fault. Now apologize to one another and end this ridiculous display.
Talk for a floating magazine.
I see you finally agree on something.
Well, that was a fun way to cap off this episode 1 hour later. Hey,
Do
buddy,
you
you're
not
gonna
even
come and
understand how
fix the
frustrating
canal?
this is, you colossal oaf? This is exactly what I hate about you.
Fine, hate me. I'll still sleep like a baby knowing I'm not an unreasonable hag like you.
Vice, what do I do?
You turn on your heel and walk away as fast as your legs can carry you, my good lad.
That's it. I have had enough. Instead of belittling me, why don't you get a proper job? Everyone in the neighborhood treats me like dirt, and it's all because of my unemployed slob of a husband.
Actually, I have a job now.
Wait, you what? You're kidding. Why didn't you tell me? That's great.
Well, I sort of wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, you big silly Billy. Well, this calls for a celebration. Come on, I'm going to bake you a nice apple pie.
Oh my gosh. Well, all's well that ends well.
I have no idea what just transpired, but it has utterly exhausted me.
Well, looks like they made up, so all's well that ends well?
Hey, what did I just say?
In the course of all that madness,
write
I have
video
forgotten
games.
why we even came here in the first place.
Oh, heck, the canal. We need to ask him about the canal.
I can't thank you enough for all your help.
Sure, but listen, we need to talk to you about the canal.
Oh, right! That's why you came here in the first place, huh? Well, now that my love life is rolling in clover again, I'd be more than happy to get going on the canal work.
Okay. Cool.
Heavens, that was exhausting.
Tell me about it.
What a
Anyway,
weird little
let's go give Popo
side
an update.
story to do. Man, what a tonal whiplash after the horror story that we read in the Forest of Myth, and then this odd couple rom-com.
The couple with the red bags were a strange pair indeed. It boggles the mind to think their relationship can persist despite such intense squabbling.
Well, they looked pretty happy in the end, at least. Maybe the secret to living a happy life is sharing your feelings, even when they're sort of mean
so
and weird.
If you adopt such a strategy, I may leave for groceries one day and never return.
Savage.
Look at that. No wonder they've been so...
Oh, hey, I found the eggs. I'm gonna go turn that side quest in real quick. Huh. Actually tried to finish that off screen and no luck. But okay.
Hey, I found an egg.
Oh, that's great.
It was behind the broken wall by the fountain. I guess they like hiding them in shadowy, out-of-the-way places.
Oh, are they shade
Well,
eggs?
that's the first place I'll look next time. Here's your payment. Thanks again.
Goodness, it sounds like the canal repairman had quite the problem on his hands. I'm glad everything turned out all right. Thank you so much for your help.
Don't mention it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the canal turns out. If you need anything else from us, just say the word.
Hey, wait!
Huh?
I almost forgot. Yona is looking for you.
Huh?
She said she needed something from you. Time to go play Big Brother for a bit, huh?
I guess so. Thanks, Popla.
I wonder if I told Yona I was busy earlier. Couldn't play, if I would have had to do this before I did the Forest of Myth. Honestly, that might have made more sense as far as tonal arcs. Let's go see how Yona's doing. Oh, we got mail. Dear Nier, today was awesome. Popola made me a huge cake and it was really yummy, and everyone in the village has been wishing me happy birthday. It's fun. I feel like a princess or something. I don't feel sick at all today. In fact, I almost forgot I had this disease. So maybe you can forget about it too and come back home now. Yona. Oh god, did we miss her birthday? Jeez, Nier, you are questionable brother. Okay, did we get any of the crossbreedy flowers that we were looking for? Looks like no, and it looks like it's my fault because I planted them terribly. I'll deal with that later.
Yay, you're back.
Popola said you needed something?
Yeah, a favor, actually.
What is it?
Um,
I can't help if you don't tell me, sis.
okay, I'm gonna say it. Ready?
I'm ready, Yona.
I need you to help my friend.
Your friend?
Yep, I have a friend, and we've been writing each other letters.
Oh good, I'm glad you have a friend.
Seriously?
A pen pal. How delightful.
Yeah, good for you.
So who is this friend?
Well, he's kinda...
He? It's a guy?
Yes, and he's sick and in a whole lot of trouble. And I know that you and Vicey are the only ones who can help him.
Vicey?
Tell me about this guy.
He lives in this really big house down south, and he's super nice, and he's my friend. So you have to help him. Please?
Yona, listen.
Please?
Great. Now what do I do?
Can't say no to her.
Fine. I'll see what I can do.
Yay! Thank you! Please help him, okay?
Okay, I think we are finally going to the mansion, which is an extremely cool part of this game. My voice is tired.
Great. Yona's got a boyfriend.
Is something amiss, lad? Your voice is trembling.
No, it isn't. Shut up.
Be cool, Nier, be cool. I'm gonna save this for tomorrow because I don't want to be going into one of my favorite parts of this game tired and with a weak voice. So I hope everybody has a good time. I will see you soon. Goodbye.